Alright, our topic for today is solving literal equations. Our goal for today is to solve literal equations. The California standard that we're going to hit today is California Standard 5.0. Now there's only one vocabulary word that I want you to go ahead and make sure that you have down, and that is the word formula. You're going to hear the word formula mentioned many, many times throughout this entire year of algebra, so make sure that you understand what it means. And a formula is just an equation that states a rule. Okay? So I'm going to show you a formula in a little bit. This is a distance formula. Alright, so here we have distance is equal to rate times time, or in this case, d is equal to r times t. And again, r next to a t, if there's nothing in between, it basically means to multiply. So our first thing that we're going to do here is, it's going to be kind of weird because you're really not going to see too many numbers in here, and you're going to try to find an answer which really doesn't have an answer except to have variables in there. So the first thing that we're going to do here is we're going to locate the variable that we want to find. So we're going to find r. So here, found it. So I'm going to go ahead and underline this right here. So my goal for this entire thing is to solve for r, which means, you see where the d is right here? R needs to be on its own like that. And it really doesn't matter if it's on this side or this side. So first of all, we're going to locate the variable. Now I'm going to identify any operations that I see. I see here that it's r times t. Okay? So now my goal is to get r on its own. And the best way that I know how right here is I need to move that t over. So the easiest way to move that t over is by, well, taking the inverse of multiplying. So if I take d is equal to r times t, the inverse of multiplying would be dividing. And since I want to keep r where r is, I'm going to go ahead and take away t, or divide by t. And again, your property of equality here states that if you divide here, I'm going to have to divide here. So, with that being said, t divided by t, no longer there. It's equal to 1. 1 times r is equal to r. My answer is r on this side, which is what we want because we're looking for r. And then on this side, it is just d over t. So that is your answer on how to do this. Now it's kind of weird because your answer is basically the formula. Alright, let's go and try others. Alright, here we have a is equal to b plus 3, and we're going to solve for b. So again, we're going to go ahead and locate the variable. The variable that we want to have on its own is b, and we're going to go ahead and start identifying what operations are there. So it's b plus 3. So I need to go ahead and get rid of plus 3. So this one is kind of easy because it has a little bit of a number there that you can work with. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that 3. So to undo the 3, the inverse operation of plus 3, I'm going to undo that by subtracting 3. But again, being equal, the equality property, we're going to have to go and subtract 3, not on this side again, but we're going to subtract it on this side. So we're going to go ahead and subtract 3 here. Now, the thing about this is that here, 3 minus 3, we have 0. So here, we have our goal of having b. Now on this side, because we don't know what a is, we're going to keep it a minus 3. And that is our answer for that. So we've solved for b, which means we just want b on one side and everything else on the other. So now let's look at this crazy one. This is a fraction. That's the number 6. That's the number 4. It's f plus 4 over g is equal to 6, and we're going to solve for f. So here's our f that we want. We want f on one side only. So let's start on looking at this going, well, right now that's a fraction. So let's move this onto this side. So we're going to go ahead and look at this part right here. That's a division. The opposite of dividing is to multiply. So I'm going to multiply this side by g, and I'm going to multiply this side by g. If I multiply this side by g, it's actually g over g, which gives you 1, which kind of leaves me with just f plus 4. And on this side, 6 times g is 6g. Now, just like the problem that you had up here, we have a plus 4. So all we really got to do here is to just get rid of that plus 4. So to undo that, we're going to do the opposite, which is minus 4. And then we're going to minus 4 right here. So here, that's gone. because 4 minus 4 is equal to 0. We now have f left, which is what we wanted. And then 6g minus 4, because we don't know what any of those are, that is our answer. F is equal to 6 times g minus 4. So again, you're using this, the steps that you know of when you're doing one-step and two-step equations. All right, let's go ahead and do a little bit harder ones. So here I have m minus 4 times n is equal to 8, and we're trying to solve for m. So number 1, locate the variable that we want. Number 2, figure out, all right, I have subtraction here, I have a multiply here, and then I have this number right here. So there's a couple of ways you can go about on this one. We want to solve it for m. Now, the easiest way to do this, instead of kind of breaking things up, is to just take this as one entire term. Term meaning it's kind of like one single unit. So all you really have to do here is treat this like if it was just minus 4. So here, I'm going to add 4n, and I'm just going to add 4n here. Now, that gets rid of this, which now leaves me with m, which is what we wanted. And on this side, we're just going to go ahead and take 8 plus 4n. And again, that's it. Alright, this one looks way more difficult than it can be, but it's actually not that bad. So we're looking for w, so we want w on one side and everything else on the other. So let's go ahead and look for w. And now we notice here with the w, it's a divide by m. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of this m. Because we're dividing by m, the inverse operation or the undo operation is to multiply both sides by m. So if we've done that, I can cross this off because it's actually m over m equal to 1. 1 times this is going to keep that the same. So I now have 10w minus 10e. On this side, I have s times m, or m times s. Okay? So now, again, we want to isolate this w. Looking back at what we did up here, all we're going to do is to take this as one entire unit and just add 10e here. That's gone. We get to add 10e right here. And so our answer is going to be w, which is what we want. And then on this side, it'll be m times s plus 10 times e. And that is our answer for this. So again, when you're solving literal equations, the first step that you're going to do is to look for the variable that you want. So when you're saying for w, for m, that's a variable that you're looking for. Secondly, you're going to identify the things that are the operations that's connecting to it. So like here, minus and a multiply and that divide right there. And then you're going to just undo everything. Flip it. You're just going to undo any sort of operations. If it's a division, you're going to multiply to undo that. Then you're going to add to undo that. All right? And that's it.